So this thing's pretty cool, right? Yeah, I'm sure. Whatever. That backhoe was on the front. It had a big chain ditcher on the back. I took the backhoe off the front and I chopped that all off and I shortened it up so I can reach the controls from the seat. So when I'm operating the backhoe, I can drive the tractor, that sort of thing. Anyways, pretty cool. It steers on that front axle. Those are great big Chevy four-wheel drive axles with the Burfield joints. As a kid, we had a loader in the bush that had those. I always thought, man, it'd be cool to have a set. Anyways, that front axle works great. There's no problem with it. Checked all the oils. It's clean. Serviced the hubs. The whole works. It's solid. But what happened was, see that differential there? It's the same as they're all the same differentials, but that differential there ran the gear that ran that big chain trencher, right? It's busted off. It still it turns though. So there's a 4-speed transmission that runs that differential. The PTO of that 4-speed transmission has the big pump on it that runs the hydrostatic drive. There's a pump on the front that runs the hydraulics for the loader and all sorts of other goodies. Anyways, that differential runs the chain. And I guess if you really push it hard, you break that shaft. So what they did was they took this axle out, I imagine. They took it to a machine shop. They chopped it off. They mounted their gear on it. They're back in business. They can pull this thing around with a excavator or whatever, but they need to cut that chain. So they stripped the axle out of there. They put it into there, and then they broke it again. And then they said, screw it, and they parked this machine, and it's awesome. But anyways, so that is just the axle end in there. There's nothing in there, so I got no rear drive. That side, I've taken a look. That side's turning the spider gears. This side, it's open. So, they chopped it off, bolted on, covered the hole. I do the same shit, right? You can pull this thing around. It still drives around on that front wheel drive. It's just if it gets too hard, you have to pull. I don't know, whatever. It worked for him. It got him to the graveyard with this thing. So, I got to make an axle. Well, I guess I'll make two, right? I'll make one for here and one for down there. But I'll have the spline sample that goes into the spider gear from this one. So that's 1.5 inches coming out. Imagine the splines is probably, start with 2 inches. So it's probably 1 7/8. Turn it down, spline it. I can do all that shit. 4140. I imagine they're hardened on the end. The spline is hardened where it hits the spider gears. 4140 is it? I'm not good with those numbers, but it's got a higher comment. I may just give it a fucking harden, an old bush, and just fucking harden it and call it a day. I guess I should make one for each differential then. So we're talking 2-inch 4140. I don't know, $100 a foot. Gonna need 3 feet on the other side and another. Well, we'll get pretty close to measurements because that shit's expensive, but another 12, so 4 feet, so $400, I guess. I'd spend it on this thing. This thing's awesome because I'm gonna run off this differential. I'm gonna run down here and I'm gonna make a spool and I'm gonna have a winch there that's got the 4-speed transmission, run the winch with reverse and total free spool. I do believe I'm gonna figure it out. Anyways. This thing's coming along great. I got the skidder blade. It's gonna go on there somehow. Not sure yet. I don't know. I'm thinking quick touch now, but I don't know why I'd unattach it and then you make stupid. I don't know. It's probably better. I'm gonna mount it. I think I'm going to mount that skidder blade solid. And then I'm going to take, well, at the same time, I'm going to have the loader, so I have that skidder blade. And then the loader. I have the loader off my tractor. It's a pretty good loader, but it's built like shit. The bucket's real nice, and the arms are real cool, but they're too long. So I want to build a short little loader. There's all sorts of half-inch plate kicking around in this. There's lots of structure here. I want to build a loader. Comes down, but I got that skidder blade in there. Now the skidder blade's all the way up, jammed up against the front of that half-inch plate machine, all the way up. I want that loader to be down, ground level, bucket flat, and butt up against that blade, backed up by that blade. And then I want to have a quick attach on that loader, so I can put forks, grapple, blade, clearing blade, whatever. I don't know what it is. I don't know what's going to go on that quick attach. But if it gets nasty and I'm doing a lot of pushing and stuff, that loader is going to be backed by that skidder blade at ground level. So if I want to use the bucket just to scrape out bush and stuff and hit a rock, it's going to be backed up. I'm hoping. That's my plan anyway. So I don't know. I got bales to make. Cut it yesterday. It's drying fast, and rain and Father's Day. I don't know. I got bales to make in the next day or two. And so what I want to do is I'm going to grab the loader from the tractor. I'm going to put it up there. I'm going to grab that blade with the high hub on the truck. I'm going to set it in there and just sit it. When I park this machine for the night, I'm going to pop it in there and start visualizing how that thing's going to work. But this thing's cool. It's everything I need in the tractor. I'm going to, off this shaft that's been in here, running that differential, right? I'd like to drop a chain down, mount some bearings in there, and come up with a PTO shaft down there. Because my tractor, I don't know, this thing's a diesel, man. I've got it running good. I worked it for all I could work today. And I don't know if I use $10 of diesel fuel, it just purrs. Tired of stressed out about the gas tractor and how much fuel I'm using. Anyways, this is going on while I'm making hay for the first time with a swather machine that hasn't run in who knows how long, with the baler that hasn't run in who knows how long, and the tractor I bought that I'm pretty sure never ran properly. But I fixed it all. But I think tomorrow afternoon, Raven's at work. I think I'm gonna make some bales. I don't even care if they're shitty bales. I don't have an animal that needs bales, but I'm gonna learn how to do this before I get animals that need bales. Yeah, beautiful evening. Raven's at summer in the city. Anyways, that's one of the many things I got going on. I can't keep track of them all. But yeah.